Alright, hello friends. It's been a very, very long time, but I'm still here. And I spent a long time waiting to hear some stuff, and to this day I've never heard it. So I'm going to come and say it myself. And that is all the things that we talked about a few years ago now. It's been years, and still we haven't heard anybody be any kind of honest. Um, all the things we talked about with all the medical conditions and all the reactions to it throughout that entire ordeal, still no one has actually admitted that they were wrong and you were right about everything. So, I'll be the one to say it. We were right. They were wrong. They know it. And still they play this pretend delusional game of denial. Actually, that's kind of what I plan on doing with a bunch of videos that I'm going to make saying all the things that nobody else wants to say about all the insanity that's happening now. Because when I was actually out here making videos, I never ever would have imagined that we would get to the point where people believe that men can beat women. I did not see that coming. I didn't. But they claim to believe that. I don't know how much of it's ideology, and I don't know how much of it is authentic belief. But we're going to take some time, and we are going to absolutely obliterate these arguments. And actually, just while I'm thinking about it, I was very fortunate during the whole lockdown thing, uh, to be in a position where I didn't have to rush and do a bunch of weird things to try to get by. It was probably some of the best times that I've had in my life. It was the easiest, I should say, the easiest time in my life, um, which says something, I think. But once that ended, I had to get back to, the things I was doing, and that's neat. Um, Back to work, and all the responsibilities. But I really appreciate the time that I was given to disconnect from society, find myself, get in touch with myself, spend some time studying the things that I wanted to study, do the things I wanted to do. But now it's back to waking up at 4 a.m. to get to work at 6 a.m. and get off work at 2:30, and I just don't have a lot of time anymore. But that's no excuse. I'm not trying to make excuses. I could have made a video a few times. It's just things happen. So, here's a list of the things that we said years ago that now are just historical fact. First off, the muzzles never worked. It was obvious from the start that they never worked. It said on the packaging that the muzzle did not work. Waste of time. The shots did not work. We went over the entire procedure, the technology. We went over everything years ago. We knew they wouldn't work then. We said they wouldn't work. They didn't work. In fact, the more of the shots that you get, the higher your chances of getting the condition. That's what we're going to call it now, is the condition. So, the more times that you got poked, the more likely you are to get the condition. And again, we called that years ago. um, so, back then, we took a look at how the numbers are gathered and the counts are done for the people that are infected with the whole contact tracing and all that. And we knew then they were lying. There's no way using that list of criteria that you could actually reach an accurate number of people with the condition. And we were right. The numbers were made up the whole time. And now that is also historical fact. Just in the grand scheme, we said that the very nature of the condition itself was far more mild than they were portraying it to be. They were acting like there was bodies in the streets. There wasn't, there never were. It was all pretend. We said it then, and now the facts have proven us right. They might not say it, but you were right. People in my comments, people that emailed me, messaged me talking about this. You were right. They were wrong. They're not going to say sorry. They're not going to say, oh, you were right. We should have listened to you. But I'm here to tell you myself. You were right. They were wrong. They should have listened to you. Let's see. We said, you and I, in my videos, comment section, email messages, we said that the true issue seemed to be the mind-breaking obedience that the public had for people who had no regard for the general public. They were blindly obedient to these leaders that had no consideration for their health, safety, or any of that. That was the issue. The issue was these people knew they were being lied to. They pretended, because I believe that they know better. They're just pretending, go along to get along. They pretended to believe these lies just because it made them feel some kind of power. And they tried to bully a lot of people. But that was the issue. The issue was a mental condition in the public. I believe it's called mass formation psychosis. There was a psychologist who had a whole different name for it. But there was, I don't know, 70% of the public just was blindly obedient to the most stupid things that you could ever hear, and they just acted as if it was normal. That was the issue. There was no actual medical problem at all, ever. Okay, well, not ever. But this time around, there was not a medical condition, it was a mental condition, and it was in weak minded people. They seen an opportunity to be powerful and they took it. Alright, so all that stuff being listed out, all the things we said, they said we were wrong. They removed like 9 of my videos for saying things that are now established fact. Those videos aren't coming back. I don't care. I don't expect them to. But you probably aren't going to hear anybody say that they were wrong. But they were. They were absolutely wrong. And they were wrong about things that were obvious. If you looked at the information and the data, it was obviously a lie. There are a few, though, that, you know, they seen they were wrong and they were like, my bad. But that's what I came here for. And there's going to be things like this that are going to come up, and I'm going to do the same thing because it's obvious. It's obvious that a man is not a woman and a woman is not a man. And if a man believes that she's a woman, but also she needs to do some weird things to be more like the other gender, then she knows that she's not that gender. It's common sense stuff. I don't understand why we're having these conversations. It's absurd. And into the future, I don't know what my upload schedule is going to look like. But I finally actually got a Chromebook that I like. I got a camera and everything I need to do these videos. So I'm gonna keep uploading. The issue before was I upgraded my Chromebook, which I use Chromebooks because I use them to study. And I actually switched to an iPad, and I didn't like the iPad, and then I switched to something else, and I didn't like that either, and I switched to something else a bunch of times, and I just now was like, hey, I'm just going back to what I had. So we'll start working out the backlog. I see Big Sibley is still uploading, thank God. I can't wait to go watch his videos. I'll see you guys soon. I love you.